Hey everyone, and welcome to the Farthest Planet From. Today we're going to talk about what might have happened if Padme would have lived and Vader would have saw her one last time. If you're new here, please subscribe and let's get into it. As Vader sat alone in his chamber, adjusting to his new mechanical body, he sensed Padme was alive. He could feel it. The Emperor had told Vader that he killed her in his anger, but he knew it wasn't true. It couldn't be. Vader had no knowledge of Padme's whereabouts, but in trusting his feelings, he felt there was one place where she would feel safe, one place that would bring her some sense of happiness during this time. Vader set his coordinates for Naboo's lake country. As Vader approached the planet, he could feel Padme's presence growing stronger. Vader landed in a field that he had been to not so long before. "Halt!" Two guards screamed as Vader approached the very Kino lakeside retreat. Before they could reach for their guns, Vader crushed their throats with one swift use of the Force. Vader was right. She was here. Padme sat on the balcony while Luke and Leia lay in a bed made for two nearby. As she sat, Padme heard a strange noise coming from inside. Padme jumped in fear as the dark cloaked figure stepped in the doorway. "Padme," the voice bellowed out. Padme quickly pulled the kids close as she stepped back until her heels pressed against the balcony railing. The figure advanced in her direction as Padme drew her blaster and fired. Vader deflected the first blast and used force stasis on Padme from the neck down as she leaned in for another shot. "Who are you?" Padme pleaded, unable to move. Vader didn't answer. As Vader approached, he struggled to look upon Padme as his suit limited his ability to look downwards. The weight of the helmet caused him excruciating pain, and Vader grunted as his cyberkinetic upper vertebrae grinded against what was left of his upper spine. "Who are you?" Padme pleaded again. Vader paused and said, "Padme, it's me." Padme's face flushed white. "No, it's impossible," she said. "Obi-Wan said you were dead." Well, Obi-Wan was wrong, Vader shouted as he angrily slung the balcony table onto the side of the building. As Vader got close, he could see her once beautiful face now tinted a horrible shade of red from his eyewear. Vader looked towards his crying children as Padme screamed, "Stay away from them, you monster." Vader approached Padme and felt her face with his gloved hand. Irritated, Vader removed the magnetically attached glove in an attempt to feel Padme's skin. His cybernetic hand offered slight sensation. Vader could make out the feeling of her flesh, but he couldn't feel any warmth. She was terrified of him, of what he had become, of what he had done. Padme didn't love Vader, she loved the man he used to be. The man with great pride and a passion to make things right. Vader was unable to move towards her without pain, unable to see her face for its true color, and unable to even feel her skin. Now that he was with her, he was in agony. As the force stasis wore off, Padme hit the bright red button to the right of his chest piece. Vader's suit entered manual reset mode. Vader grimaced in pain as his system forcibly adjusted his internal levels and repressured his joints. Padme grabbed the children, and no sooner than she could take a few steps, Vader force-gripped her throat in an attempt to stop her escape. As Vader looked upon Padme's oxygen-deprived face and his children, he realized. The last time he had seen Padme's face, he had her throat in his grasp, and the last time he had seen children, they were slaughtered by his hand. This was too much for Vader to bear. The excruciating pain from his new suit, coupled with the emotional trauma of realizing the one person he ever loved would never love him again. He wanted to do something for himself. He wanted to begin to make things right. He wanted control of himself, even if it was the last thing he did. Vader released the force choke as Padme slid back against the wall with kids in hand. Vader fell to his knees as he removed his helmet. Padme looked upon his unrecognizable face and began to cry. She muttered the words, "I loved you, Anakin." As Vader looked upon his family with his own eyes, he responded, "I know." Vader slowly slipped away in the very place his love for Padme began. Thanks for listening to this what-if scenario. I think this was really cool. I tried to think about it, like, how would George have thought about this? What would the poetry be? What would the rhyming be? And I think where their love began would really only make sense that that's where the love would end. I tried to kind of focus my inner George Lucas and think about what it would really look like if Vader would have saw Padme and would he have even enjoyed being with her, you know, if the way he had to be with her was in this suit. I mean, he wouldn't be able to see her, he wouldn't be able to feel her. She would live in fear at what he had done in the Jedi Temple. I think that Vader always wanted to see Padme. I think he wanted her back, but secretly, I don't think he would have wanted her. Secretly, I think it would have been more pain. I think it just wouldn't have been the same. Vader made a choice, and it was a point of no return. But thanks for listening. Let me know in the comments what you think about this what-if scenario. Have a great day or night, and may the Force be with you.